If your chores feel chaotic or like they take longer than they should, the problem probably isn't the amount of work, it's the lack of a clear order. In today's episode, I'm walking you step by step through my winter morning livestock chores, explaining not just what I do, but the thinking behind the routine. If you're ready to build a chore system that actually works, this one's for you. Hey friends, welcome to the Get Goatwise podcast. Are you longing to raise goats and other animals for food but don't know where to start? Do you want to be more self-sufficient and less dependent on the grocery store? Do you wish you had a mentor to walk you through raising livestock? Hi, I'm Millie, animal scientist, cattle girl turned goat rancher, co-owner of Dry Creek Livestock, and simple living enthusiast. For 15 years, I've been on a mission to raise all of our own meat, eggs, and dairy. Here, we'll talk about raising goats and other homestead livestock, how to create sustainable animal management systems that actually work, and a bit of off-grid life with kids and livestock. If you're ready to take control of your food supply, raise livestock with confidence, and provide your family with the most nourishing meat, eggs, and dairy available, you're in the right place. Kick off your muck boots, pour a cup of coffee, and let's talk livestock. Before we jump in, I want to take a moment to say thank you. Last week, this podcast moved into the top 2% globally. That doesn't happen without you listening, sharing episodes, and leaving reviews. Thank you for listening and sharing. I don't take that lightly. I'm grateful this message is reaching more families who want to raise livestock well. This podcast exists to give goat owners practical, grounded information, the kind that keeps animals healthier and people from burning out. Reviews are one of the biggest ways that message reaches the right people. If you've found this show useful, especially early on in your goat journey, I'd appreciate you leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. Just scroll down to Ratings and Reviews and tap Write a Review. As a thank you, I've put together a free kidding due date chart at getgoatwise.com/kidding-chart. Leave a review, grab the chart, and know you're helping someone else raise goats with a little more clarity and confidence. Here's what's been happening on the ranch this week. I had the opportunity to be a panelist for a lambing and kidding workshop where I talked a little about what we do here, and then the 4 panelists fielded questions from educators and producers from all over the country. That was a fun change of pace from the normal routine. We had open hours at the meat shop over the weekend. We do that once a month now, and I always enjoy visiting with our customers and helping them fill their freezers. On the ranch, it's more of the same. Feeding hay, watering, and of course, mud. We got quite a bit of wet, heavy snow last week. It stayed warm, but freezing every night, which I'm thankful for. At least we can get out of here in the morning when the mud is frozen. The livestock guardian pup is growing fast, and she's smart. I spend about 5 minutes each morning working with her, and she'll be ready to go out with the goats very soon. We still need to decide on a name for her, though. Ray's steer has been a hard one, but he's coming along nicely. The snow and mud have added some challenges, but Ray can now catch him, lead him around, and even get him tied up. Every show animal these kids get has a different personality. There's always new learning for the livestock, the kids, and the parents. All right, on to today's topic. If your chores feel chaotic or like they take way longer than they should, it's usually not because you have too much to do. It's because you don't have a clear order of operations. I love to learn, and when I'm taking a course or reading something new, I'm always asking, but how do you actually do that? I want step by step, what happens first, what happens next. When something is unfamiliar, like raising livestock for many of you, it can feel overwhelming simply because you don't have a routine yet. So today, I'm going to walk you through my winter morning chores, not just what I do, but the order I do it in and why. Don't copy my exact routine. Copy the thinking behind it. My chores right now are pretty simple. This is the slow season. I can finish in 15 to 20 minutes. The same chores could easily take 45 minutes if I didn't have a system. In summer, routine chores take 2 to 3 hours with moving electric fence and milking. That doesn't include irrigating or kidding, which change daily. Efficient chores aren't about moving faster. They're about deciding the order once so you don't have to think about it again tomorrow. All my chores right now are up at the barn, about 150 yards from the house. That wasn't the original plan for the location of the barn. It was going to be much closer, but water runoff changed where the barn had to be built, so we work with it. Before I leave the house, I make sure I have everything I need. Puppy training treats in my coat pocket, an egg for her food. That saves me a return trip back to the house. I put my muck boots on and walk to the barn. First thing at the barn, I kennel the 3 herding dogs and feed them. I try to remove distractions first. If those herding dogs are loose, they're underfoot. If they're underfoot, everything takes longer. While I'm scooping their feed, I fill 2 pans for the Livestock Guardian dogs and fill the scoop for the LGD pup. Batching tasks saves motion. I can scoop all the feed at once or do it on 3 separate trips. Doing it once saves time, and the filled pans serve as a reminder to deliver them to the dogs out back. Then I feed the pup. She gets a little training in patience and manners while I fill her bowl and crack the egg in it. She only gets the bowl when she's sitting and waiting patiently. While she eats, I handle her feet, ears, and tail. I'll take the bowl away and give it back when she sits. Why? Because when she's 100 pounds and powerful, I need to be able to examine her without a fight. And most importantly, no food guarding. She needs to willingly give up anything she has in her mouth if I ask, and this is the easiest way I've found to teach her to do that. Training happens during chores, not separately. Again, this will be how her regular guarding life is. Most days she'll see us during morning chores, and the rest of the time she'll be guarding. So we're setting the stage now for her to know when she can expect people around and when she needs to focus on her livestock. I glance at her water. That's Ray's chore, but sometimes she tips it over. Then I leave her to finish. On my way to put the scoop away, I grab a chicken feeder and fill it. Then I take it back to the chickens. That distracts them so that they're not underfoot while I finish. Anything that reduces chaos saves time. Next, I grab the 2 feed pans I filled earlier and walk around the barn to feed Ned and Ava. While I'm there, I pick up yesterday's feed pans and I take a quick look at the goats and check the mineral feeders. It's a great opportunity for observation, and regular observation is how you catch problems early. If mineral needs filled, I do it then. If not, I head to the hay lean-to. I set my dog pans on top of the big bale and fork enough hay for 1 dairy pen. Short trip, so no hay wagon needed. I feed 1 pen, go back for another load, and feed the second pen. Once the dairy does are fed, I take the pitchfork back to the hay, pick up the dog feed pans, close the hay bay, and head back in the barn to put the feed pans away. It probably seems strange to set the dog bowls down and then go back for them. I do it intentionally. If I don't return the pitchfork immediately after feeding hay, I'll lean it somewhere and tomorrow I'll be hunting for it. So I leave the bowls as a physical reminder to put the pitchfork away first. I build reminders into the environment. When I'm on barn watering duty, I pull the water buckets out of the pens and set them in the middle of the aisle. If it's in my path, I won't forget it. You can do this anywhere, in the barn, in your garden, in the house. Make the environment work for you. After putting the dog pans away, I'm standing by the dairy grain bin, so I grab a half scoop of grain and give a little to each dairy pen. On my way back, I pass the LGD pup again, grab the training treats out of my pocket, and we do another quick 5-minute training session. Then I put the grain scoop away and fasten down all the bin lids. Before I leave, I let the herding dogs out of their kennels and send them out of the barn. Egg hunting has become their newest hobby, and they're pretty good at it, so they can't be left unsupervised in the barn for now. Before I walk back to the house, I mentally note anything we'll need tomorrow. Low chicken feed? Need to mix up mineral? I'll text myself a reminder. Tomorrow I will be thankful that I did. The best part about being efficient with chores is that I have time left. Time to play with the dogs, time to walk through the goats, time to observe. If you know what's normal, you'll see what's off. That's the power of observation. When busy season hits, milking, fence moves, kidding, efficiency is the only reason days don't get out of hand. Each of us has our own routine. That's why we don't rotate chores often. Once you've built a system that works, protect it. When seasons change, chores change. I test the new routine until it flows, then I stick with it. Sometimes I forget something, and sometimes forgetting is the best teacher. Nothing helps you remember faster than taking 3 trips back to the barn. Efficient chores aren't about doing more. They're about thinking once, creating order, and building reminders so you don't have to rely on memory. Build your routine, test it, refine it, then do it. If you have questions or want to talk about chores and routines, head on over to the free community at getgoatwise.com/community and start a conversation. See you next week. Hey there, thanks for listening today. I'm so glad you're here. If this episode helped you or encouraged you in some way, share the link with your homesteading friends. And if you really want to help me out, click on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and a review. You can connect with me on Instagram or email linked in the show notes, and meet me back here soon for more Get Goat Wise.